As you get settled into your seated posture, it might feel nice to do a little bit of movement before sitting still. A little shift forward to back or side to side can help you find the balance point at your center. Connect to your breath. Like your breath is a friend. You listen, you give the breath space to be itself. And you also notice if something is holding back your breath, if there's any restriction or tension, and see how you can help your breath out. In today's class, we'll cultivate this friendship with our breath, this two-sided or two-way street, receiving the gift of friendship from your breath and also providing that. As you explore some movement, we'll start with a seated cat and cow. Hands on the top of the thighs, reach your elbows back, heart forward and up. Exhale, tone low belly, hands around the knees. Following your breath, top of the inhale, heart is lifting high. Bottom of the exhale, head relaxes as you open your back. To begin your practice, nothing is extreme. We're moving consciously through the range of motion and watching it open up around the edges. Make this movement non-linear. Explore a little bit into your sides, into the diagonal lines, the spiral shapes in your body. Staying connected with your breath. Make your way to table, finding hands and knees. Send your right leg back, twirl out your ankle, both directions. For this next sequence, we can do it with the left arm forward or the left hand on the ground. As you breathe in, get really long. Exhale, curl knee in. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, awkward airplane, knee and elbow out to the side. Inhale, forward and back. Exhale, curl under. Inhale, reach. And exhale, awkward airplane. So your choice to take one more cycle like that, or just relax if your body is done. Finishing that side reach. And knees to the mat, a little sway. Bring your breath into the other side. Left leg reaches back and up. Just an option, add right arm. That arm is out like shaking hands, thumb points up. When you exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, nice and long. Exhale, awkward airplane out to the side. Inhale, forward and back. Exhale, curl under. Inhale, forward and back. Exhale to the side. Really lift the side of your knee. Inhale, reach. Go ahead and take one more round or take a break if your wrists are done with that. Settle into child's, a little space between your knees to sink down. How do you decide how much space to have between the knees? I like to create child's pose with a gentle like turtle shell in the back as opposed to a arching of the back. So for those of us who are more open, The knees can actually be closer together to create that turtle shell. See what feels right as you experiment with your knees. Rise up on your fingertips, and we'll take the rotisserie chicken. Walk your hands to the right, and then start to roll. Look under one armpit, and then the other. Moving with your breath, full breaths through the bottom of your lungs. The hips might be swaying side to side. Walk yourself through center and explore that on the second side. This rocking movement. There's something very core about it as well. Let's see what your breath has to say as you listen. Make your way to center, and we'll meet up in downward dog. Bend knees one at a time. Ease yourself into a lot of length. For restricted hamstrings, a little bend in the knees can really help as you shoot your tailbone super high and get that length under your sitting bones at the back of the upper thigh. One more full breath here. Shake the head a little bit. Transition forward. Come to the front of your mat. Exhale as you arrive. Inhale, rise and stand. Take your time. Knees could bend on the way. Arms reach and hands together by your heart. Release arms by your side. Have a little clearance. We're going to do some bear twists. So arms spinning around. Feet are separated about to the width of your mat. Your back hand can bend a little bit and give you a little bump to relax your back muscles. Some momentum to release your neck. All right, we're going to slow that down. Sweep arms overhead, deep breath in. Interlace hands and side stretch to your right. Take a breath here. Find your core on your exhale and inhale, center your body. Tiny bend in the knees and then straighten over to the other side. Lean back a little bit with your outer right shoulder. Strong through the heels, down through the tailbone. Nice. Center on the inhale. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale for a flat back. Exhale back into plank pose. Walk yourself back and 3 breaths to tone. If you want to play with your balance already, try lifting one foot for 1 breath and then just set that down. Just an option. Open across the collarbones, but strong in the armpit area. Optional push-up, come to your belly. Spontaneous Cobra. Man, fun classes are really fun. It's just like, what's the funnest way we can do Cobra? Up on your fingertips, slightly off the mat, so elbows are wide. Tune into your breath flow and just start to move. Shoulder blades might pull together and down as your heart lifts. Nonlinear movement here as well. Try dropping the shoulders as you look at the other foot. Any other movements you like to experiment with? And then we'll flow back into downward dog. There could be a table as a transition point. Deep breath here, a little tick-tock with your head to relax the neck. Come to the front of the mat, standing forward fold. Exhale as you arrive. Inhale to stand tall, arms high in the sky. Exhale, hands by your heart. Resting breath to ground your feet. Listening to your breath. Feeling a friendship with your breath. Inhale, sweep arms up. We'll take that side stretch, adding a balance. So as you shift over to your right, bring weight into your right foot and reach out with your left leg. That foot can step down at any point. Find your breath here. Long through that diagonal line. And then shift to center. Tiny bend in the knees. Your hands could weave the other finger on top if you want, as we balance to the side. Lots of reach. Take it as far as you like. Core and outer hip muscles activating. Nice. Center your body, deep breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, ground hands either on floor or chair, and we'll take a standing split. Right leg reaches up. Draw low belly toward the spine and try to reach that line through your tailbone back through your heel. One more inhale in the pose. Exhale, step back to a lunge. This lunge is simply going to be juicing the hip joint, lubricating the hip. Back knee could be down or up as you bend and straighten your front knee. Think of powering that movement, not as much from your hands, but more from the front foot rooting down. Bend the front knee and take a swimming circle on each side. Reach your left arm back, up and down, and then right arm. Deep, full breaths. One more circle on each side. As you touch the mat, step forwards, one more moment in the standing splits, and then lower that foot. Switch sides, deep breath, left leg reaches up. Stay connected with your breath and power down through your foot that's on the floor. See how much support that can provide. Hips are more level than open, meaning the light of your belly button is pointing to the floor instead of to the left side. One more inhale. Exhale, big step back. Create your lunge. Back knee up or down as you start that movement. Shifting forward and back. See how this feels in your hamstrings, in your low back. Collaborate with your breath. Respect what it has to tell you about your experience. Whenever your front knee is bent, let's take those swimming circles. Start with the right arm, reach it back as you inhale up to the sky. Exhale forward and down. And other side like that on your breath. One more deep breath on each side. Nice work. Step yourself back into plank. Take a flow or a child's pose. Flow refers to this sequence, high plank to low plank. Inhale, back bend of your choice. And exhale, downward dog. Center in downward dog. And I'm going to give us a balance challenge. If you want a little more core, bring your body into plank. So we're going to try hovering opposite hand and foot. Just see what kind of wobble is here. Let yourself play with that. And then replace hand and foot. Find your center. Try it on the other side. Hand and foot hover. Nice job. Walk forward, standing forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, power down through the feet so you can stand tall. Arms high in the sky. Exhale, hands together by your heart. Find your breath. Find your connection to your feet. Have a seat in the chair. Sit all the way back. Reach arms high. Palms face each other as shoulder blades relax down from the ears. Deep breaths through the lower lungs. Move on your breath. Inhale, straighten legs, elbows down into cactus. Exhale, sit into chair and reach your arms up. Steady like that on your breath. Nice work. The next time you're in chair, your transition is going to be up into tree. Shift into your left footprint, lift the right knee. Your choice of arm position. And I guess it's always your choice. So the leg, the right foot could be above or below the left knee. We just don't want to push on the side of the knee. Arms in the sky. A fun balance challenge is to interlace your hands behind the back. It kind of increases the slackline factor in the pose. Tune into your breath here. If you're really steady, try closing your eyes and develop your non-vision dependent balance. Ooh. All right, we're going to transition into the standing splits. Knee comes forward as you inhale. Exhale, dive down. Touch the chair or the floor. We'll stay for an extra moment in standing splits in case you want to play with a fully bound pose where we would be holding the standing ankle as we balance. So just an option, something to play with, to breathe with. Nice job. Take a big step back. Let's explore a twist. Back knee could be up or down. Right hand is the bottom hand, left hand. I like to start it on the thigh, just kind of pulling the abdomen slightly in and to the left. Top arm could reach up. If you like, maybe make a funnel shape, opening up that shoulder. With another moment here, it can be nice to create a prayer twist, hands at the heart, elbow to thigh, or just balance, hover the elbow, developing your core. Collarbones are open. Nice work. Look down, touch the mat, take a flow or a rest. Totally up to you. Another moment in downward dog. If you like to take that balance, opposite hand and foot hover off the mat. Maybe there's room to breathe while you play upside down. Every once in a while in yoga, I get that taste when you're a kid and you just do something because it feels so good. I love when I get a sense of that in yoga. Come up to the front of the mat, standing forward fold. Going right into the chair, bend your knees, arms sweep overhead. When you inhale, straighten legs, elbows back, cactus arms. Exhale, sit into chair. So you know what's coming. We're going to be getting ready for the tree, balancing on the right foot. Take that transition from a chair, stand into the tree, lift your left knee. Knee comes open to the side to place your foot above or below the knee. Arms could reach overhead if you like. I'll show another fun mudra is to have the hands, the wrists crisscrossed, and then you have that overhead. There could be a little mudra of the thumb and forefinger touching. And then option to close the eyes as you breathe. Nice job. Let's take that transition, standing splits. Inhale, left knee forward. Exhale, explore your balance. Take it slow to develop a little more core. Wow, I want to highly recommend standing splits with your forehead on a chair. I've never tried that before. That is awesome. Yeah, standing splits, working to level the hips so the left hip is not much higher than the right, and internal rotation on the lifted leg to point the pinky toe down. Feel free to play with clasping hands to ankle, one or both hands. Just another breath here. Exhale, step back, and enjoy your twist. Back knee can be lifted or grounded. Left hand is the bottom hand. Start with right hand on the thigh and begin to open yourself up. Bring shoulder blades onto your back, opening collarbones wide. Try a funnel shape with the top arm if you like. Prayer twist could be fun. Hands together with left elbow touching right thigh or lifted. Root into the heel and use your lower core muscles to suspend your body in the air. Smile with your breath and slowly release. Touch the mat, back to plank to enjoy a resting pose or a flow. Your choice. All right, so we're going to take a little dolphin pose. Hands to the mat. If you like to be near a wall and practice coming into an inversion, feel free to do that. Let's take elbows to the mat. Elbows are spaced about the width of your shoulders. Hands interlaced together as you lift your hips high in the sky. Enjoy some time to settle in. Let your shoulder ball settle into the socket of the joint to make the sides of your neck longer. See how your breath responds. Maybe there's lifting and lengthening of that leg. When your pose feels done, settle into child's pose. Reach the hands back beside your feet, palms facing up. Make your way up to hands and knees. For a little thread the needle. Lift the right arm, inhale. Exhale, dive under to the left side. I'm going to have us flow that a little bit. So just on your breath, stay in movement. See how the movement can come from your core. Feel free to take a few more flows or rest with your right elbow or shoulder on the ground. Left arm could reach up and behind the right side of your back. Or I like the hand forward sometimes, like downward dog. Slowly transition, find table. Any cat and cow movement to reset. Left arm, as you're ready, inhale, reach. Exhale, dive under. And just stay in movement. Connect down through your knees. See how your core helps you to flow. Stay in the pose, holding, or enjoy the flow. Your choice. Slowly come out, hands on the mat. Make your way forward, standing forward fold. Let's hold our fold for a little bit longer. Heel toe the feet to the width of the mat. The toes are pointed forward more than out to the side. Enjoy a little sway. Some time to explore this shape with your breath. All right, make your way up to stand, arms high in the sky, and hands together by your heart. Walk the feet toward each other, Tadasana Pose. And for a standing back bend, one option is hands to your low back with the fingers pointing up or the fingers pointing down. We're going to incorporate a lot of core to support this shape. Begin by rooting your heels, really ground them, and point your tailbone down between the heels as you zipper up your abdominal strength. Keep that strength happening and begin the process of arcing up and maybe back a little bit. Keep your breath connected with you and see if you can listen to your breath for cues on how long you want to be here and how far you'd like to go. Whenever it's time to come out, there's a lot of core to pull you to center. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Get some release for your back. Have a seat into the chair. Knees reach low, arms overhead. We'll be shaping a figure 4 chair. Shift weight into your left footprint and inhale the right knee up and then cross the ankle over. Feel free to grab something nearby for balance, or we're going to do eagle in the upper body. So let's see, right knee. If you got your right knee on top, let's do right elbow on the bottom. Shoulder blades are coming down the back. Elbows may lift forward and up just a bit as the low ribs hug toward the spine. Steady breathing. Nice work. Find your way to stand, bend that knee, and we're going to step all the way back into Warrior 2. Big step back with the right foot. That back foot is about parallel to the back edge of the mat. The arms reach out to a T shape. Exhale, reverse triangle, right hand to the thigh. Inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, side angle pose or half moon. So for side angle, we've got elbow on the thigh, right arm alongside the ear. For half moon, you might like to play with left hand on chair or floor as you lift the right leg straight. And we have sugarcane as a fun option where the top knee bends and you take a bound shape, like a part dancer pose, breathing and opening that thigh. We're going to resolve down into a lunge. Just take your time, face the mat, both hands down, right toes to the floor. Drop your right knee, heel toe the left foot a little bit out to the side, so your left hand is on the floor to the inside of that foot. Feel free to bend and straighten the front knee. For the lizard, you may like to work on releasing forward. Some of us can come to elbows comfortably. This is a great application if you use a yoga block or something to prop up under your elbows. The left knee could bow out to the side a little bit to help open that hip. Check in with your breath. See what it has to say about this experience. Nice work. Plank pose to enjoy a vinyasa flow or a rest. Make your way to the front of the mat. Let's find that chair pose when you're ready. No rush. Arms reach overhead. This time we have body weight shift into the right footprint for that figure 4 chair. Eagle arms. Here we've got left elbow under the right. To simplify any pose, just take part of it. Just do the legs, just do the arms. Great way to just bite off a little bit. All right, we've got that transition back to warrior 2. Really stand on your right foot. Take your time stepping all the way back. Arms reach wide. We've got the front knee and foot pointed squarely to the short edge of the mat, and rather than bowing in to the left. Reverse your triangle, back hand down, front leg straight. Lots of space with your breath. And then either extended side angle or the half moon, balancing on your right foot. Half moon is a really cool hip opener where we're working to point the right knee forward while we open the left hip back. Sugar cane, if you like, hold on to the outer edge of that ankle and just see what is here. See how your breath responds. Kick foot into hand if you're taking that shape to open the front of your chest. Nice work. We've got a big step back, shaping the lunge. Hands on the mat. And then for the lizard shape, we're going to walk the right foot about 4 inches to the right, so the right hand is by the arch of that foot. Some time to play with your hips. This could mean bending and straightening the front leg. Maybe you lower down to one elbow or both. There's a great shape too where we allow the right knee to open to the side as the right foot rolls to the pinky side edge. As you turn to your breath, come to it with a sense of equality rather than you have a need to control the breath. You're really just connecting and paying kind attention to your breath. All right, enjoy a flow or a child's pose. Find your center by paying attention to your spine. Have a seat. I want to give a couple of options for the crow. Super fun pose. If you've got a cushion nearby, sometimes it's just very comforting to know that you're not going to crash and burn. You will just crash and puff into a pillow. So for the crow, we can all enjoy a yogic squat. So this can be done where you're on your tiptoes, sinking into the knees. If that's a little too far to bend, there's like the half squat where you have elbows on the knees, which is a great way to shape that pose. If you'd like to play with balance, palms are going to ground, and just, you might want to watch first too. When the elbows bend, the elbow is pointing toward my shin, not to the side, kind of like a push-up, like a classic push-up. So for the yoga push-up, the elbow points back, and then it's like your upper arm is a little shelf that you can put your knees on. So we're trying to create that shape. Another tip I have for the crow, Bakasana, is to think of it like a teeter-totter balancing, where in order to get my feet up, my head has to go further down. Try to feel your shoulder blades scooping down and wide more than coming up to your ears. And that's where the elbow bend comes into play, because if the elbows bend out, then it all goes into your neck. But if your elbows can bend back, then you're using your shoulders and your rotator cuff to strengthen. And just to put it out there, I can't do this pose, but some people can do a crow, float one knee in front of their belly, and then shoot the leg up. That's a three-legged or a one-legged crow. Who knows, maybe you can do it. All right, when that pose is done, we like to do gorilla to release. My sister loves this pose. So wide-footed forward fold, and then you want to bend your knees enough that you can fit the palm of your hand, connecting that to the sole of your foot. The back of your hand is on the mat. Once you make that connection, there can be little strengtheners like straighten the back of the legs, pull shoulder blades down the back so the heart moves closer to the feet, and elbows could bend out to the side to deepen that fold. Add some abdominal strength, draw navel to spine, low ribs toward the belly. All right, release your hands and just go ahead and have a seat. Take a moment to sit with the after effects of that arm balance. See what your breath thought of that pose. The rabbit pose is a really great deep shoulder and upper back opener. So I wanted to show a couple ways to do the pose. And if you're new, you might just want to watch and then give it a try, because ideally we're not turning our head while doing the rabbit pose. So it's going to start a lot like child's. Forehead comes to the floor. The first variation I want to show is like a neck support, where we're going to have our hands planted in front of the knees. So rabbit is like a little lift where you're going to roll your body so the crown of your head is on the mat and your hips are up in the air. And there can be just a really nice massage up and down the crown of the head. And sometimes this is an inversion, so sometimes you do it and you're like, wow, it's a little weird or disorienting. So just bite off a little of the pose and then just see how that settles. Second version, this is my personal favorite. We're going to hold on to the outside of the heels. And now as you lift up, you might bring your forehead just a little closer to your knees so the crown of your head is on the ground, and then keep pressing your hips up to open your shoulder blades. Tune into your breath and see how that really moves your pose, opening up the inside of the stretch. To come out, simply sit down. Your choice to rest a little longer in a child's, or just come up and equalize your blood pressure. Reach hands behind you, pull shoulder blades together, lift the heart. Option to lift your hips for a camel variation. Opening all that up. Have a seat, and then shift your legs so they come out reaching forward. Bring your knees flat to the ground. Cross right ankle on the left knee for a seated pigeon shape. And to deepen the pose, we're going to work on lengthening our spine and bringing your low back slightly forward. There can be a little rocking movement like that. Your shin could go side to side. Keep finding length out of your tailbone up through the spine, and then slightly forward. You might walk the hands in to bring your belly closer to the thigh. your choice to stay here. Also, an option to do a reverse table with the pigeon leg. So we'll lift our hips and balance on the left foot. Really ground that down and use some gravity to drop the right knee any amount. Nice. Have a seat. And just a moment in a forward fold. Left leg comes straight as you release forward. 2 deep breaths. Slowly rise up. Feet flat to the mat. Before second side, lean on your hands and windshield wiper your knees. Second side of the seated pigeon, we're going to cross that ankle on the opposite thigh. Lean back on your hands and start to shape the pose. Spine nice and long. Collaborate with your breath and really get its input. Listen. Be a good listener to your breath. There could be the side-to-side movement. Option for that reverse table if you like. So we're going to keep that left knee in the pigeon shape as the hips lift and just see what's here. Go ahead and have a seat. Right leg flat on the mat for a forward fold. Lots of length through your spine and dive forward any amount. There's a great saying for yoga that it's not about touching your toes, it's what you learn on the way down. So we're never going for one landmark for, quote, yoga success. It's an internal process that is very, very personal, very uniquely yours. Rise up. We're going to straighten our legs and transition to lie flat on your back. Stretch arms overhead, get really long. Plant feet on the ground and bend your elbows out into the cactus shape. This will be our flowing twist with neck release. Feet are spaced about to the width of the mat. And the opening movement is windshield wipers. Knees to side, center, and then other side. Depending how you breathe, one way of breathing with this is center on the inhale and exhale knees to side. But if your breath is a little slow, or maybe you take an inhale to go to both sides and then an exhale to go to both sides. Allow your hips to pour. We don't have to control what the hips are doing. Add an extra reach forward. Whatever knee is still above your mat, just reach that knee out to open the quad and the lower abs. And adding in the arms, when knees come to the right, left arm straightens to reach behind you on the floor. With knees at center, opposite side, knees to left side, and then right arm is going to straighten. A gentle rotation of the head is just an option. It's like the cherry on the sundae. Whatever arm is straightening, you'll be looking down toward that armpit. If that feels like a strain, don't do it. One more on each side. Gentle and holistic. Give knees a squeeze. Massage your back against the ground. for the wind reliever, we're going to curl up, squeeze knees close, and then lift your head and chest. Get that nice compression. Curl your chin to open up the back of your neck and slowly release down. Happy baby. A great contemplation that I do in Happy Baby. Consider what a baby's mindset is like, how they would feel upon finding their feet with their hands, how a baby feels about their own body, wonder and fascination. Consider the lack of story that a baby has about the world around them and the people in their life. And just take a few moments to enjoy any more stretches and this refreshing state of mind. Any other movements that you'd like to do for yourself? Go ahead and set up your resting pose as you're ready. The action of Shavasana is letting go. When we practice a deep relaxation, sometimes you hit the jackpot and you are right there. You're just deeply releasing. And another very normal experience is that it's a process in order to relax. And we really go through this process in a gentle way, repeatedly softening whenever my mind might grasp onto thoughts or plans. I just remind myself I'm relaxing right now. And just for this short period of time, I'm developing this skill of letting go. So every breath you take, your inhale is washing through your body, helping to clear out any remaining thoughts, anything that's kind of stuck. Just letting that wash through as you exhale. We find ourselves very open, open to receive, open to simply be. a deeper release is available. See if you can let go just a little bit more. Take a moment to explore the inner landscape. What is it like in your breath? Take a walk around in your body, like you got to a beautiful destination on a hike. Take a little time to let it sink in and to explore, to play. Enjoy a deeper breath, any gentle stretching to help you wake up. With a bend in your knees, roll to your side and pause here. Let your body relax. Rise up slowly and take a comfortable seat. We have about 5 minutes to meditate at the end of class. Find a way of sitting that feels alert and also relaxing. The meditation hand position is thumb and forefinger touching lightly with hands on the lap. As your breath flows in, feel it wash over the forehead, flow down through the throat, and collect in the heart center. When you breathe out, this heart center is relaxing and opening just a bit. This is the process for a heart meditation where we come to discover this inner dimension of our being. When you breathe in, there's this pathway over the forehead, through the throat, deep into the center of the chest. And when you breathe out, instead of the attention going out with the breath, you let yourself deepen. I think of the heart as like the cockpit of the spaceship that is your body. So we're really just embodying this awareness at the center of knowing, the center of perception. Enjoy a few moments to simply be in the heart space. Your inhale may bring a sense of opening, like a flower opening to the sun. And the exhale is a release of any pressure as you continue to open. Transition slowly. Take a couple breaths to open your eyes. Just letting the light in to meet you. And thank you for making time in your day to practice. And I wonder how your practice will come with you for the rest of the day. Namaste.